श्रीपाद श्रीवल्लभत्वं सदैव श्रीदत्तास्मान् पाहि देवाधिदेव भावग्राह्य क्लेशहारिं सुकीर्ते घोरात् कष्टात् उद्धरास्मान् नमस्ते। त्वं नो माता त्वं पिता प्तोऽधिपस्त्वं त्राता योग क्षेमकृत् सद्गुरुस्त्वं त्वं सर्वस्वं नो प्रभो विश्वमूर्ते घोरात् कष्टात् उद्धरास्मान् नमस्ते। पापं तापं व्याधिमादिं च दैन्यं भीतिं क्लेशं त्वं हराशुत्वदन्यम् त्रातारण्यो वीक्ष ईशास्त्रजूर्ते घोरात् कष्टात् उद्धरास्मान् नमस्ते। नान्यस्त्राता न पिता न भर्ता त्वत्तो देव त्वं शरण्योकहर्ता कुर्वात्रेयानुग्रहं पूर्णराते घोरात् कष्टात् उद्धरास्मान् नमस्ते। धर्मे प्रीतिं सन्मतिं देवभक्तिं सत्सङ्गाप्तिं देहि भुक्तिं च मुक्तिं भावासक्तिं चाखिलानन्दमूर्ते घोरात् कष्टात् उद्धरास्मान् नमस्ते। श्लोकपञ्चकमेतद्यो लोकमङ्गलवर्धनम् प्रपठेन्नियतो भक्त्या श्रीदत्तप्रियो भवेत् श्रीदत्तप्रियो भवेत् श्रीदत्तप्रियो भवेत् श्रीदत्तप्रियो भवेत्। श्रीपादराजं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीपाद श्रीवल्लभ चरितामृतम् Chapter 48 Description of Darbaar in Panchadeva Pahad. The manner of addressing men and women by Sripada Srivallabha. Sripada generally used to hold Darbaar in Panchadeva Pahad on every Thursday. Sripada used to step on the waters of Krishna river and walk. A lotus was emerging at every spot where he was about to place his step. It is beyond human imagination as to how wooden sandals stood on that lotus. Not only that, walking on water is a wonder. For some time, it used to be a wonder to the onlookers. After some time, it was considered as a common sport. When Sri Sripada arrived at the other bank of Krishna, his devotees were going in advance and were cordially inviting him. The Darbaar used to continue till evening. After that, when he was crossing Krishna, he was walking on the lotus flowers that emerged from the water at every step. Then all devotees would bid farewell. During nights, he was staying in Kurugadde in solitude. Every Friday, he was giving turmeric bits to marriageable girls and to ladies who desire Saubhagya, that is, auspicious married life. He used to address elderly ladies as Mother, Sumati. Sometimes he was addressing them as Mother, Anasuyamma Tai. He was addressing women younger than him as Amma, Vasavi, or Amma, Shri Vidyadhari, or Amma, Radha, or Amma, Surekha. He was calling elders who were of the age of his father as Ayya or Nayana. He was calling young boys as Ore Abbi or Bangaraa. He was addressing those who were of the age of his grandfather as Tataa. In the case of such elderly ladies, he was fondly calling them as Ammamma. Daily program of Sri Sripada and Darbaar. At times, he was holding the Friday Darbaar in Kurugadde. At other times, he was holding at Panchadeva Pahad. In the same way, the Darbaar on Thursday was held either at Kurugadde or Panchadeva Pahad. It depended on his liking. During the Darbaar on Sunday, he delivered lecture on the esoteric yogic Vidya. After that, he was inquiring about the welfare of the visitors. He was patiently hearing their difficulties and granting assurance. In the Monday Darbaar, he was telling episodes from Puranas. After the discourse, he was inquiring about the welfare of the devotees. In the Tuesday Darbaar, he was teaching about Upanishads. After the teaching, he was listening to the individual problems and suggesting solutions, and in the same manner granting them assurance. In the Wednesday Darbaar, he was explaining Vedas and meaning of Vedas. Afterwards, he was patiently hearing the woes of devotees and was granting assurance. In the Thursday Darbaar, he was explaining about Guru Tattva. In this Darbaar also, there was remedying of worries and chronic diseases of devotees and granting them assurance of protection. However, on that day, meals were specially prepared and served to all people. Sometimes, when love for devotees swelled in him, he was personally serving food to them. For some fortunate people, he was personally feeding them. For some people who were very much shy, he used to forcibly push food into their mouths and made them eat. He was telling that his treasure was always full, and there was no question of paucity of money or food. In the Friday Darbaar, he was teaching about Shri Vidya. He was invariably distributing turmeric pits. In the Darbar of Saturday, he was teaching about the greatness of the worship of Shiva. Those who saw the Darbar of Sri Sripada were indeed fortunate. Devotees were bringing rice, vegetables, jowar and ragi grains. Every day there was feast of food. But on Thursday, special preparations were made. Some sweet was prepared and distributed to devotees. The heart of Sri Sripada was very tender. If anyone, bitten by troubles like snakes, came to the Darbar, he used to go out happily after the redressal of those troubles. He used to tell that grace would surely be granted if Sri Datta Purana is read. The love of Sripada is that of crores of mothers. He was not allowing anybody to stay in Kurugadde during nights, but he permitted the old sannyasi who accompanied me to stay for some time. I was asked to stay in Kurugadde during night. The old sannyasi was asked to go and live in Kashi and end his life there. My duty was to clean the cooking utensils, preparation of meals, and to look after the comforts of devotees. Meals should be provided at any time to visitors of the Darbar, even if the visitor said that he had meals already. He was ordering that as it was prasada of the Darbar, it should be taken without fail. When it was brought to his notice that the food was insufficient and the guests were more in number, he was sprinkling the water from his kamandalu on the food items. Those items of food were becoming inexhaustible. It happened like that many times. During night times, celestials used to come in aircrafts to Kurugadde and worship Sri Mahaguru. They were going back after obtaining his blessings. Sometimes yogis from Himalayas were coming. They also used to come by walking on water. Their bodies were effulgent. Sri Sripada used to personally serve them food. The meal of Sri Sripada consisted only of a fistful of cooked rice grains. He was telling that he would be very much satisfied if his devotees take meals belly full, irrespective of whether it was food made of rice or jowar or ragi porridge or pudding. A washerman named Ravidasa had the great fortune of washing the clothes of Sri Charana. Those who did not abandon their evil tendencies even after visiting him were facing peculiar difficulties. Again, for their redressal, they have to take refuge of Sri Charana only. He was telling that obsequious ceremonies should be compulsorily performed for the departed elders. He was telling that all the 18 castes were his children and he has no partiality for anyone, and that he grants results according to the dharma karmas followed by people. He was also remarking that the great opportunity available that day would not be available again, and that he would behave strictly in the ensuing incarnation. He was also observing that his darshana would be available as the result of the merit earned in many births, and that the good opportunity available should be utilized, or else Sadguru Darshana comes only after many births. He was also saying that in the entire wide world, 1,25,000 Siddha Purushas exist in any yuga, and that all of them were his segments. And if one takes refuge in any one among them, his grace emanates through them. He also added that he is the support for all creation, and by his will only, creation, sustenance and liquidation of it happens. When you salute your Guru, he will salute his Guru. Sri Sripada said that in this manner, when we salute any Guru, it will ultimately belong to him. It was also said that a Guru protects when deities are angered, but there is no protector against the wrath of a Guru. He further remarked that benefits of this and the other world would be gained by those who worship him, and that no one should be hated in this creation, and when we hate anyone, it will also reach him. He also averred that if he wanted to accord grace, he will not notice even the merits and demerits, but one should have sattvic ideas in him to get his grace. Activities should be always performed with chanting the name of God in the heart. It was also remarked that Kurugadde was a supreme sacred kshetra, and that Ishvara there was an awakened live one, and that deities, sages and great persons lived there in disguise without being seen by people. There was a suitable place for everyone. He asserted that God's name should be retained in heart while discharging duties always, and that those duties should be in accordance with dharma. He also observed that on getting his darshana, all the great sins would be removed, and if one follows pious activities, it would be possible to derive auspicious results. Let us follow the divine sayings of Sri Sripada in our life and be redeemed. Victory, victory to Sri Sripada Srivallabha. Here ends the 48th chapter of Sripada Srivallabha Charitaamritham. ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ಗುರುವೇ ಕಲ್ಪತರುವೆ ಭಜಿಸುವೆ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ಗುರುವೇ ಕಲ್ಪತರುವೆ ಭಜಿಸುವೆ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ದರುಶನಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಬಾಗಿಲ ಬಳಿ ನಾನಿಂತಿಹೆನೋ ಸದಯಾ ದರುಶನಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಬಾಗಿಲ ಬಳಿ ನಾನಿಂತಿಹೆನೋ ಸದಯ ತಿರುಗಿ ತಿರುಗಿ ಬಂದಿಹೆನೋ ಕರುಣಿಸೋ ತಿರುಗಿ ತಿರುಗಿ ಬಂದಿಹೆನೋ ಕರುಣಿಸೋ ಕಾಷಾಯಾಂಬರದ ಕಾಯದ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ಗುರುವೇ ಕಲ್ಪತರುವೆ ಭಜಿಸುವೆ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ಮುಸುಕಿದ ಮಾಯಾ ಮೋಹದ ಬಲೆಯ ಜಾರಿಸಿ ರಕ್ಷಿಸುವ ಮುಸುಕಿದ ಮಾಯಾ ಮೋಹದ ಬಲೆಯ ಜಾರಿಸಿ ರಕ್ಷಿಸುವ ನಸುನಗೆಯ ಸೆಳೆ ದೋಷ ಬೀರುತ್ತಾ ನಸುನಗೆಯ ಸೆಳೆ ದೋಷ ಬೀರುತ್ತಾ ಕಿರಿಮೊಗದ ಚೆಲುವ ಶೋಭಿಸುವ ಕಿರಿಮೊಗದ ಚೆಲುವ ಶೋಭಿಸುವ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ಗುರುವೇ ಕಲ್ಪತರುವೆ ಭಜಿಸುವೆ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ಮಣಿಯಲಿ ಮತಿಯೂ ಬಾಗಲಿ ಮನವು ಭಾವಭಕುತಿ ಬೆಳೆದು ಮಣಿಯಲಿ ಮತಿಯೂ ಬಾಗಲಿ ಮನವು ಭಾವಭಕುತಿ ಬೆಳೆದು ತನುವಿದು ನಿಲ್ಲಲಿ ತವ ಪದದೆಡೆಯಲಿ ತನುವಿದು ನಿಲ್ಲಲಿ ತವ ಪದದೆಡೆಯಲಿ ಅನುದಿನ ಸೇವಿಸಲು ಗುರುವರ ತನುವಿದು ನಿಲ್ಲಲಿ ತವ ಪದದೆಡೆಯಲಿ ಅನುದಿನ ಸೇವಿಸಲು ಗುರುವರ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ ಗುರುವೇ ಕಲ್ಪತರುವೆ ಭಜಿಸುವೆ ತೋರಿಸೋ ನಿನ್ನಯ ತೋರಿಸೋ 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 ನಿನ್ನಯ ರೂಪವನ